Thank you for tuning in to another episode with Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for going on 14 years in April, and my goal is to help both men and women be in relationships that's best for them. If you are returning, thank you so much for taking the time to continue to listen to my videos. If this is your first time, welcome. I have been doing several videos on wisdom, and today will be no different. So I am going to talk about how to speak and interact with your husband. If you're not married, you can do this in practice with your boyfriend, because I always believe that we should not wait until we are in a situation to want to do things. Practice makes perfect, and you start a lot of these things in the dating phase. And then once you're past the dating, then the relationship phase, and then it progresses towards marriage. So you do want to get a head start on some of these things early on so you can have a healthy marriage and thereby have a healthy kid, because they're going to grow up in that positive environment. So I'm going to talk to women today, and this is going to be about how to speak, how to interact with others, including your husband, while you are on your cycle, while you have hormones raging, while you're pregnant. Because a lot of times we say, oh, well, I'm just, I'm pregnant, or I'm on my period and this is why I'm irritated. And no man, whether they're your husband or not, should say, oh, are you on your period? And a lot of times they're saying it as an insult because how crabby you're acting. And we start our cycle at around 12. Some start sooner, but around 12. So if you've been on your cycle all of this time, you've had plenty of time to understand what happens during that period of time, how your body typically responds, how your emotions are. So you should be able to harness those emotions, so when you're in relationships, it does not rear its ugly head. So most women are fatigued. Most women are irritable. So if you know this, get plenty of rest. Make sure, most women are bloated. Make sure you're eating food that's not going to make you even more bloated, thereby irritate you more. Most of the time, you don't feel your best. So I always encourage that if you know your cycle is coming on, and you can get a tracker to track when you're coming on, same thing if you're pregnant and you know you're going to have morning sickness and you're going to feel a certain way, I encourage you to dress where your mood will be more positive. So maybe wear color, maybe wear a dress so you can feel a little bit better, so you don't feel crabby. Of course, wear things where you're not going to feel more bloated, that's going to be tight against you. Get more rest. Make sure you're eating proper food that is going to make you feel good, because foods that's high in sugar and carbs is going to make you feel more bloated, make you feel irritated. Also, be more cognizant of the fact that you could be irritated. So work harder to be more patient, to be more kind during these times. It's similar to when people have headphones on, they talk loud. Most people, they think that the headphones on requires them to speak louder than they need to. Well, I typically, when I have headphones on or earbuds or whatever, I actually speak lower intentionally, because I don't want to accidentally, sound super loud like this, thinking that someone can't hear me, when it's me that will have the problem hearing because of what's in my ear. So, of course, you would either take them off or you would just respond, but lower your voice. And this is how it is in relationships. If you know that you're more irritable during this time, you're more frustrated, work harder to have more of a positive attitude. Then you won't come across irritated. Also, I believe in letting people know that today is not typically the best day. But don't use that as a way of, okay, well, I told you I didn't have a good day. So when I'm irritated, when I'm frustrated, I would say to my husband, oh my gosh, today was a rough day. I am so tired. But I'm not going to have an attitude because I told him I had a rough day. This isn't a prerequisite or precursor to the attitude I'm going to have. What it is to let him know. So if I don't have to worry about him saying, man, you don't seem as cheerful and jubilant as you normally are. Well, he knows now, because I had a rough day today. But I am going to still try to sound more upbeat intentionally so I don't have that irritable attitude and things like that. So again, you've been on your cycle since 12, so or even longer. So if you know that, why not work harder to make sure that you're going to be on your best, have your best mood, your best attitude intentionally, knowing that you're going to be drained because of hormones. You know that you're pregnant and during this trimester, you're more irritable. So wear clothes that's going to change your mood. Do things that's going to change your mood. Eat certain things that's going to change your mood. Get more rest so you can be less moody. And again, being mindful. This is all wisdom, because there's no point in taking on knowledge, knowing something, and not applying it to your life. And I understand there's things that we do often. We eat things knowing that it's not great for us. We say things knowing that it's going to have negative consequences. We do things knowing that there's going to be negative consequences. But in this instance, I want you to at least practice with this to make sure that you're not going to say and do things that's going to have negative consequences that you could have fixed because you already knew that you were going to be on your cycle. You already knew that you were pregnant. You already knew that these particular hormones is going to cause X, Y, and Z. So let me work harder to have a more harmonious relationship with others around me. I don't want others to say, wow, she must be on her period. Oh, wow, she's PMS. And no, we have medicine for that, for headaches. We have medicine for stomach aches and cramps. We have things that we can do to alleviate those things. We're not going to use that as a way of getting out of having positive conversations with people. And that includes our spouses. We should be able to interact with our children with more patience, interact with our spouses, our husbands with more collaborative, supportive, and loving attitudes, even when our hormones are raging. And this is part of wisdom. This is part of understanding that, you know what, I do need to cultivate a more harmonious relationship. I do need to have a healthier relationship. I do need to make sure that I bridle my tongue, that I don't say the wrong thing. I do need to know when to be quiet. I do need to know when to speak up. I need to know when to be assertive. I need to know when to submit to the person that I say is a leader in the household. I do need to understand that I have a role as a woman. I have a role as a mother. I have a role, a place in this world, and I'm not going to change it. I don't have to compete and be an equal to my husband. I don't have to do that. I just need to be equal in value, but I don't have to be equal in roles because he is the provider. That's his role. He is the lead. That is his role. But it doesn't mean that anything that I say, anything that I do, my contributions has no value. It doesn't mean that. But what it means is you need to understand that, okay, I need to be able to say and do things that speak life, not into just my husband, but into my children and others around me. And I should not deviate from that just because I am having hormones that are raging, that's been raging since I was 12, but I'm telling others I'm showing others that I don't know how to harness these hormones that have been going on since 12. And we want to make sure that we don't let people know when we're on our cycle. No one should know based on your behavior, based on your words. I want you to be better, right? Not change who you are. Just be the best version of who you are. You don't change him. He doesn't change you. But you being you at your worst is not you. That's you being lazy, not meeting your potential. So many times I hear women say, I don't want to date potential. I don't want to be with a man who has not arrived. Well, men don't want to be with women who do not know yet how to harness their emotions, how to be emotionally intelligent. This is highly important for a woman. Highly important for a high value woman. We always talk about the high value man. A woman who knows how to harness her emotions is a powerful woman. This is a woman that can captivate the world, that can persuade others to do things for them because of how she says and how she does things. And we're not talking about a seductive woman. We're talking about a persuasive woman, but she is a woman who is morally correct, right? She is doing things the right way. She has integrity. She has good character. So we're not talking about this woman with a seducing spirit that's getting people to do things, and it is evil. It is wrong. It is for her own personal gratification and benefit, but selfish to others. So we're speaking about a woman who has integrity, who has proper ethics. She's doing things the right way, but she still knows how to captivate and motivate and uplift and encourage, and we want women to be able to do this, harness that through not just her femininity, but how she applies these things in the world to her life, right? Because a lot of times we apply other people's situation, other people's stories, and we use that as a way of not to do things. But learn from other people's story on how to do things. Now, I'm telling you how I've learned to do things as a wife, how things have worked for me, how I speak to my husband, whether I am going through a hormonal change or not, learning how to be able to speak to my children. It's something that we have to learn every day. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's perfect here. But the goal is to strive to be the best that we can be and to be mindful of those things. And again, we all fall short, but the goal is to check off the box. Did I do that today? Did I work on this today? Did I work on that? We have New Year's resolutions of losing weight and doing this and doing that. It's great that you want your body to look good. It's great that you want to excel in your career, but how are you in relationships? Have you excelled in your relationship, your romantic relationships? Have you excelled in your marriage? Have you excelled in motherhood? Have you excelled with friendship? Have you excelled with other people that you're networking with outside of just work, just personal in business and your brand? How are you excelling in your brand? And your brand is who you are, your name. How do you represent yourself out in the world through your words, your actions, your clothes, just a look on your face? Because I often talk about your look is also you saying something. Are you having this look like, don't mess with me? I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this. Do you have that resting bee face? Do you have this look, this stone cold look that you're not interested in and you don't want to be bothered by anyone? And we want to change that. And the question is, why do you have that look? What are you thinking about? Because the Bible talks about, of course, if you're Christian, talks about think on things that are pure, just, and of good report, right? And if you're thinking about these things that are honest and true and of good report, your mind is going to think about positive things, and thereby you're going to have a smile on your face or have a content look. So you want to make sure that you are thinking about things that are not going to irritate you, that's upsetting you, that's making you angry. Listen to positive music. Listen to uplifting music. Think about things that are sultry and that gives you serenity and peace. Because when you think about those things, then you are going to take on that same mood, and then people are going to say, wow, okay, I like this person. And again, everyone's not going to like the change that you have, and I'm not saying you have to walk around super jubilant every day, because I'm not jubilant every day, but you don't have to walk around sad. You don't have to be irritated because you're on your cycle or because you're going through hormonal changes, because you had a bad day. You don't have to allow the day that you had be a precursor to how you're going to treat others and how you're going to act out. Because understanding your emotions is all it's doing is telling you how you're feeling. So then pause and reflect. Why am I feeling this way? Now let's tackle that, because we don't want to handle the symptoms. We want to get to the root cause. Why am I happy? Why am I sad? And it's good to know why you're happy, because then now you can be cognizant and think about those wonderful blessings of what made you happy, and constantly think about those things. Especially when you have sad days, you want to be able to pull that out and think about, remember the time when I was happy and why. Why are you sad? Why are you angry? Why are you irritated? Because sometimes we don't even know why. We just know we're irritated and we're sad and we're frustrated, but it could be because you don't have a support system, or the right support system, or the people you thought were your support system are jealous of you. The people you thought that cared about you are mistreating you and doing stuff, undercutting you, and you didn't know about it for some time. There could be, times that you're sad because you never actually emotionally got out what was bothering you from years ago. So you want to be able to say say it out loud. What's bothering you? What's causing this emotion? And then deal with it. Because if not, it's going to affect your relationships. It can affect your marriage. A lot of times people bring outside issues into their marriage, issues they have with family, friends, and work, children, and bringing it to their marriage. And then you forget what you're arguing about. You just know you're mad. You know you're angry, but you don't even know why. So reflect on, why are you mad with your partner? Is it really something else and you're just bringing in that anger? And that's a lot of reasons why people are petty, because sometimes pettiness is little jabs and bits of a bigger issue that is being overlooked. A rug is being swept over this issue. They're just dealing with the symptom of feeling this way. So they're bringing out little things, and it's called pettiness. It's called passive aggressiveness. But we don't want that. We want to talk about the things that's bothering us. If you are irritated, if it's nothing really traumatic issue that's going on with you, talk about, you know what, today I have a headache. Today, I am not feeling my best. I am having a hormonal change, and I just want to have a little self-care. That's okay. Now people understand, and now you won't walk around crabby because you've gotten it out, and now you're going to deal with that issue and fix it and have the self-care that you need, rather than pushing through it, struggling through it, and then having the attitude all with it. Stop, think, and figure out how you're going to deal with this. Again, this is all part of emotional maturity, understanding how you're feeling and dealing with your emotions in a positive and a healthy way, as an adult should, as a wife should. That's key to your marriage. You want to be emotionally intelligent. You want to be able to harness all of these things going on with you. And this is another reason why you have these things start at 12. Because that is actually the part where your body is changing from a girl to a woman. So a lot of your maturity is going to start early, not later in life. So some of these things you want to go ahead and start learning now, especially if you're watching this and you're a teenager. Start now. You don't need to wait till your late 20s and your 30s to now want to be mature. None of that. I'm just a kid. No. The same way men are teaching boys to grow up into a man early, you are going to learn, hopefully, how to be a woman through harnessing your emotions, through gathering wisdom and applying it to your life, because that's what wisdom is. Not enough just to know the information, but to actually apply it to your life. That is wisdom. So understanding that, balancing your hormones with that is key. So if you had any man tell you, whether they're your spouse or not, whether you're your boyfriend or not, if they have told you or asked you, are you on your period, or told you, you sound like you're PMSing, go ahead right now. Start right now and harness those emotions. Understanding what you're feeling, how to deal with those root causes of what's happening. So if you are cramping, then maybe you need to do a little bit more moving. Maybe there's blood clots, or maybe I've realized that a little bit more movement, light exercises, light movement can help alleviate some of the cramps. When you are extra tired, don't do too much that day. Because you want self-care, you want to get extra rest in, get rest the night before, don't stay up all night. I realized that wearing dresses is better, because things that are like pants or something can make you feel irritated when it's wrapping around your waist. So wearing a dress, it's loose, it's nothing grabbing around your waist. And also make sure to not eat food that's high in carbs and sugar on those days, because you'll feel more bloated. But I noticed that when I have like salad or fruit or something light, I feel better. I don't feel heavy, and it keeps me feeling a little bit more jubilant, right? Instead of like itis, like you want to go to sleep. So make sure you look into that. What can I do? Right? You can't stop the cycle. It's not good to stop the cycle. It's good to, have it, because it's important. Part of having a cycle. I remember when I was younger, I used to say, I wish I didn't have a cycle. But understanding why cycles exist. It's to cleanse your body, cleanse yourself. And so having a cycle is good. So if you're on some type of suppressant that's stopping it, I would really reconsider that. But having a cycle is not the problem. Knowing how to deal with it, having heating pads, having, some type of medicine to help with the symptoms is good, but understanding how to rest for, when you're dealing with fatigue, how to actually deal with those particular issues is going to be key in how your mood is and how you react to others, and acknowledge it. Acknowledging it will make you be more cognizant of your behavior. Oh my God, you know what? I'm feeling irritated today, so let me be mindful to not take it out on others, because how I'm feeling has nothing to do with others. All right, so that is all I have for you. I was just thinking about that because I know that sometimes people, I just heard a man say to a woman, oh my gosh, she must be on her period. So it made me think about, let me do a video, because she may not be the only one. It may be other women that have heard that before, or they just know that they're once a month, they're going to be irritable. So go ahead, work on it. And again, we're not talking about guys who are just saying that just to upset you. We're talking about people who are genuinely having a crabby mood when they are on their cycle. Thank you so much for tuning in. To learn more about me, you can watch me on all areas of social media. You can also go to my website, MrsDanielleDeVita.com. Thank you. Take care.